Welcome to another FiddleHed fiddle lesson. I'm now going to show you ways to add variation to a tune called Done Gone. Very fun tune in the key of B flat. Now if you don't already know the tune, you should learn that first. And I made a video for that, and there's a link to it in the comments field below. So go watch that first if you don't know the tune, because I'm not going to go into much detail on the melody, more on what I added to it. So I'm just going to play with it, and it'll be sort of rough, just some rough ideas that I've come up with that I think are fun and that I would maybe play if I were just playing it with people. And then I'll kind of go into it and compare and contrast like the basic version, which I've already taught, to the stuff I've added to it. And so on. So, in the A part, I've mainly added some bowings. You can do a lot more, but I decided to keep it simple because the tune's pretty notey. And so, I'm always trying to think of what can I add that will make it better and not necessarily worse. So this is what I came up with. Just a little something to give it some rhythmic flair. So what I'm doing a lot is this thing called the Georgia Shuffle. And I have a video for the Georgia Shuffle if you don't know that already. It'll be, well, let's just play like the scale for the tune, B flat. So if you play with the Georgia Shuffle, so we get a strong accent on the second and fourth beat by doing a long, quick down bow and then 3 slurred up bows. So if you get good at that bowing, you can use it on any type of similar tune, like reels they're called, or other types of tunes I'm sure as well. Things like Arkansas Traveler, Fire in the Mountain, Devil's Dream, tons of tunes, tons of Irish tunes, bluegrass, anything this can be used. And so I use it a lot, and if we take the pickup of Done Gone into the first quarter, you can start right on that long down bow to get into it. I'll do it again. All right, here's that again. Practice that a bunch, because if you get it there, it's repeated in the third quarter, and it's hard. You may want to practice looping a smaller bit, like. Just to get the flow of that bowing. It's a very challenging bowing, I think. And again, I have a pretty extensive video just on that. If you want to check that out, I'll put a link below to that. Okay, for the B part, the original that I showed you in the other video is So what I came up with for the beginning of that was so basically, let's see, you can first start by doing 2 8th notes. And then I'm putting a slur in between, across the transitions. Easier done than said. So I'm going slur 2, slur 2, slur 2. Cycle it. And then you get back into the tune. Now, it's tricky switching accent feels. Very tricky. All I can say is practice them separately and then maybe practice the transition from one to the other. So like, and do that all again. Because oftentimes transitions are the thing to practice. Once you get the separate parts of something you're working on, putting it together can be a whole new challenge. Sometimes when I think if I play this tune and I'm naturally playing it, it may take me a little while to get back to the feel of the Georgia Shuffle. So, and that's fine, I think. It doesn't have to, it's not like you can just, maybe you just want to program yourself to get right back to it, but I sort of just follow what feels right, and sometimes it takes me like, a couple bars maybe to get back into the feel properly. So there it took me, about a bar to get back to it. I hope that makes sense. So those are the main things I've added to the tune. Well, then there's the last quarter. All right. So for that, I'm kind of doing a polyrhythm. I'll do it a few times. Sorry, I did it a little differently. Just do that much. That much I'm definitely doing every time. Real strong accent, you can add a little grit to bring out the accent. So there's that. That's roughly what I do on the A part. B part, I'm doing some droning double stops. So I'm droning the G. Here's the basic melody. And there I'm droning the G here. And then I'm droning the D here. I might add a hoedown. So the whole first quarter is. Now, if you're maybe a little bit more advanced player, you can use your third finger across both strings, and I think that sounds pretty cool. Here, you can use it here. So I think that's what I did when I first played it. That's very hard, so if you're kind of more intermediate, you can just drone the open D the whole time. Here's the advanced way. You could even keep the third down the whole time. That's even a little harder. I think I like that a lot. It's a little harder though. I still put the slide in sometimes. So I think that gets the idea across. Then the next thing we do, the basic part for the second quarter of the beat part was. And so I'm just doing a droning D and A together. Kind of like a D double stop scale. Plane of the bow does not move. It stays on D and A the whole time. Alright, but then so there's that way that it just is more the intermediate way. That works. I like it using the third finger though, like this. Putting it down on D. And holding it, kind of like droning with the third finger on D down. If you want to practice that, just do this a bunch. Maybe 2 bows. Okay, so once more the second quarter. Third, same as the first. Fourth. Okay, so all I added there is just a little rhythm. The end of it is, if we were to do it a basic way, but I'm adding it. So just like a little triplet, I guess. And then, I guess that's a 16th note triplet. Getting back into it. You can vary it by making it quicker. That's something I just called the throw. To practice the throw, I mean, you just have to get good at scales and do it all in one bow. And just let your fingers fall quickly. Quickly and softly. You can do it backwards. Something like that. Or with the more triplet feel. Which might be good for faster. And so on. The second time through the B part, the second ending, is a cool thing you can do different. So got that from the Fiddler's Fake book. A little chromatic walk down. Make sure you can see it. 3, 2, low 2. Back into the tune. And then back into the Georgia Shuffle. Or you could do a little anticipation. I'll do the Georgia Shuffle. And let's just practice that transition. Again. So I had to do 2 downs in a row to make that work. Sometimes you have to do that. Or sometimes you may end up doing the Georgia shuffle with the up bow being the accented note. It's good to be flexible and be able to do things either way. So a bit of a hodgepodge of ideas for the tune Done Gone. I hope that was helpful. Remember that it's just some suggestions. You can come up, and I hope you come up with your own ideas to throw into the tunes and make up your own version. That's what's fun about fiddling, is that you can somehow play the same melody but reinvent it in a way that suits you. All right, I'll see you next time on the FiddleHed Fiddle channel. Take care.
Thanks for watching the video.
Excellent!